Welcome to segment two of Joe and the Fat Man. Joe Smeltzer, Kyle Fat Man Golick, Jay Hallahan with you recording on this Thursday night. And we're recording about 24 hours after one of the most beloved figures in Penn State sports today and one of the most successful figures in Penn State sports today was rightfully honored for accomplishing something that goes far beyond just her sport. Penn State women's volleyball coach Katie Schumacher-Cawley was the recipient of ESPN's Arthur Ashe Courage Award, which is presented every year at the ESPY'S. She gave a speech and she absolutely killed it. For those who don't know, um, the Penn State women's volleyball coach was diagnosed with breast cancer in the middle of last season. Not only did she keep coaching through chemo and radiation treatment, she won the whole thing, led Penn State to a national championship. And then a few months after that, she rang the bell, signaling the end of treatments. Just gotta hope and pray that everything keeps going well there. And she was rewarded with a contract extension not too long after that. She speaks for herself both as a great player for Penn State under Russ Rhodes and now carrying on the legacy by getting the school the seventh national title. But more than that, she is just absolutely an inspiration, and that's an understatement.
The and Katie now is the second Penn State recipient of that award after Devin Still and his daughter Leah almost a decade ago. It really goes to show the amazing character individuals that Penn State brings in, whether it's, the student athletes in a case of like Devin Still, and then when you think of the coaches, the type of people they bring in, and you know, I'm old enough to remember when Jimmy V live did his speech. And, you know, that rocked you. And in a good, a guy that I used to be on an adult softball team with in adult league, his name was Mark Gonzalez, and I'm going to name drop him, and he probably is listening too. But he always said like he would play whenever he was down or needed motivated. The Jimmy V speech, and listening to Katie, Schumacher's speech early this morning, um, it's up there. I mean, this has been like a and how can I say this for women's sports? It's been like a golden age. Like women's sports are seemingly going up. I mean, I know Shane Gillis had a few cracks about it, but in all seriousness, women's sports is getting so much attention, great attention, and there's so many great figures. To have someone involved with that, number one, even without the disease, Katie Schumacher-Cawley's an amazing individual, you know, and this was something that, you know, her and her team, they each extended the strengths to one another, and it's just amazing to see. I mean, we could probably spend hours talking about how amazing this was, but I really think she, you know, really put a speech out there that I feel a lot of women should listen to if they're in there and feeling down about it, because really great speech. It really hit home. It's something we all should celebrate, because there's a lot of times in life we there's a lot of losing, there's a lot of negativity. That was as positive can be. So that's my thoughts on her win of that Jimmy V award, that Arthur Ashe Courage Award. I don't know what they call it now, but congratulations to Katie.
Yeah, I for having someone myself that just passed away recently from prostate cancer, it definitely rang home with me as well because it is, such a devastating disease, and I mean, it's truly an inspiration to see someone be able to come back the way she has, to be able to, go up there and give that speech, and I mean, I think Kyle hit the nail right on the head. I mean, it truly is an inspiration, and I mean, the man who started the foundation and really, I think, has kind of made the SBs kind of what it is now with the speeches and such. And Jimmy V, I think he'd be very proud to see that this award is obviously still in continuation and going out to someone that, obviously every year is battling something, overcoming something. I mean, the Stuart Scott speech, I think from 2013 or 2014, was another really good one when he was still with us and battling through cancer himself. So it's obviously great for Penn State, but it's also great just for everyone going through it and dealing with it as well.
Yeah, and talk about making the most of just a terrible situation, right? Obviously, this goes far beyond the sport of volleyball, goes far beyond sports in general. But just from a volleyball standpoint, they when they did that package for Katie Schumacher-Cawley, just kind of documenting everything she went through and why she was the recipient of the award. I forget which player it was, but she said something like, when you see your head coach going through what she's going through with the treatments and then getting up, going through the door and still just going about her business and coaching as an athlete, you look at that and like, what's your excuse to not give it absolutely 100%? So, just the effect that that might have had on that team to absolutely motivate because Penn State, and again, the adversity these volleyball players went through on the court has is nothing compared to like the big picture of life. I think the team understands that, but still, they were absolutely beaten soundly by Pitt in September, and Katie got diagnosed, I want to say, a few weeks later in October. And that just the coach and the team really kind of just made absolutely the most possible of that situation. And just for the future of the program, if you're a recruit, and how could you not want to play for a woman like that, really?
Yeah, I mean, even the Nebraska comeback in the
Yep.
semifinal is one of the great comebacks in, NCAA tournament history. And Nebraska is as much a blue blood program in women's volleyball as Penn State. Um, no, obviously she wouldn't want to how can I say this? She's not that, she obviously, if she was told, like, would you want breast cancer? The answer to that question is emphatically no. But the way she handled herself, the way she was, handled the cards that were dealt to her, and really was an inspiration to many women. Like, each of those women on that volleyball team, that's something that's going to follow them the rest of their lives. And they're going to, if they themselves get breast cancer, which we hope they don't, and whatnot, they're going to remember the strength that Katie displayed.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't have to be, not to cut you off, it doesn't have to be that specific illness. It could be like
anything,
Anything
everybody's
in
anything.
life.
going through something. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the, she's an amazing individual. We in the Penn State community, in the Penn State media, the fans, the athletes, everyone involved, we're lucky to have Katie Schumacher-Cawley amongst us. So, you know, very worthy of the win. And truly, we hope nothing but the best, not only for her, her family, but also her program.
right.
Yeah.
Just not a lot left to say there really. We've known the story. We've talked about the story. Just an absolutely amazing woman. And although nobody necessarily wants to win the Arthur Ashe Courage Award because that would mean you have to go through basically hell on earth to be even considered for it. But just absolute inspiration on Wednesday night, and just absolutely well deserved for Penn State's women's volleyball coach, who, pardon the cliche, is just an absolute champion on the court and off the court and just everywhere in life. And that'll do it for segment two of Joe and the Fat Man. When we come back, it's the box and mystery segment, and we'll also talk with Jay a little bit about what he's missed since he's been on the air, because quite a bit has happened in Penn State sports since Jay Hallahan was last on Joe and the Fat Man.